bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports.
Velus Jones now from his end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. They'll run it here. This is D'Onta Foreman. And he'll hope that this is not a sign of what's in store as he has to fight just to get back to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. They'll drop to throw. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Cole Kmet. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run, because we envision them in offenses catch the ball. How much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. A carry for Foreman. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one. Well, this is the reigning NFC Offensive Player of the Week. Runs like that might get him another award.
Yeah, thunderbolt right out of the gate, huh? How about that, hitting the defense hard early? And, of course, carrying the momentum from last week into this week's game.
And he's got some space here. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. D'Onta Foreman, his 7th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Bears get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. From the 10. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Defense gives up a touchdown the opening drive. Offense, you got to want to get out there and get those points back right now.
And that's a sharp throw there to get this drive off to a good start. Second and 3. Completes it to the fullback, Ham. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. Well, this defense for the Bears, they were terrific a week ago in that victory over Tampa Bay, Charles.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there. And they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Swinging this out wide here for Cook. And he will have a Vikings first down, and comfortably so as he gets 5 there on 3rd and a yard.
Well, that's how you use your safety valve, CD. He didn't appear to be the intended target, but they got it to him, and he was able to get just enough to pick up the first.
And what a great example of where we are right now in the NFL, because if you're a running back, you're not just going to carry it. You got to catch it out of the backfield as well. Those combo guys, they're the ones everyone wants on their team.
Back to throw again. This one caught. It's the tight end, Hockenson. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. This is intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it. And the Bears are going to get it back here just shy of the 20.
Well, it's not the first time we've seen him give one up here during his rookie season. And in this case, zone coverage forced the mistake. He's made some strides week to week in how he's handling the different type of coverages that he's seeing. But clearly, there's some growing still to do.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done, because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Now a toss play. This is Foreman. And some room to work. There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Chicago. D'Onta Foreman with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Bears are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 14-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. From the 10. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, Charles, it's kind of gut check time. Look, I know it's early, first quarter, just their 2nd drive of the game, but they've already thrown the interception, given up the score. You're down double digits. They got to figure out something, and pretty quickly here. No doubt about it, and when we look at that sideline, I'm sure you're observing the same thing I am. I don't like the body language at all. They look like they're in a state of stunned disbelief. So to me, we always talk about someone stepping up and making a big play. I think it would behoove them if multiple guys step up and make big plays right now. They need something positive to happen, and they need for it to happen now. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. It's going to be a gain of 6 on the keeper, but it leads to a 3rd down. And, Charles, you look at this defense. They were a very loose group coming into the week, knowing they kind of had the upper hand going into this one, taking on a team that hasn't won in a month and a half.
And that works well for you if you establish your dominance early in the game against a team that's struggling. But if somehow they fashion some plays together early, knock them back on their heels, that looseness can be used against them. Then they're trying to scramble to make sure they get their game right.
Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here. The first update from Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. And you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. And the Bears are going to take possession of the football.
A tough adjustment to the NFL throughout his rookie season, and his problem with turnovers is only exacerbated by his early showing today. That's a couple for him here in this first half, and he's cleared the double-digit mark for the entire season.
They'll run with Foreman, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. On the toss, here's Foreman. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. 167 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half.
Well, he's broken off some big-time runs here in this first half.
Man, let's just face it. When you go into a game, you think you've got the plays that are going to work, but when you actually get out there and they're starting to happen.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. His 3rd rushing touchdown of the year, his 5th overall. And the Bears have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. And it is now 21-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. A fairly short kick from the 14. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. 1-7 their record here at the midway point of the season, and right now this organization, more than likely if you look at it, CD, probably in for a rough second half of the season.
Well, we've seen teams turn things around in other places. I mean, we've seen 1-7 first halves turn into 5-3 second halves, but with this squad, I think these guys aren't playing to get into the playoffs. They're playing for their jobs. So's the coaching staff. They're coaching for theirs. Front office trying to keep theirs. The heat is on from all directions. And what's interesting is a lot of these guys are playing for jobs and trying to keep their positions. It might be just in the league in some other spot.
And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They run it again with Cook. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it, and it's 2nd down.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
Now a handoff to Chandler. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
Here's a 2nd and 7. He'll take a shot for the end zone. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A big play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Extra point right down the middle. And they'll cut the lead to 21-7. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And this will come out to the 25 as Jones elects for the touchback. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
He finds some open field. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. Touchdown, Chicago! D'Onta Foreman on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Taken from about the 12. And he'll be out of bounds across the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but Charles, they look up and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
Yeah, and I think the best move for them is to not worry about how far they are down on the scoreboard, but to just remember the last drive and how it ended. Go ahead and try and repeat that. Then you can look at the scoreboard and see where this game is.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. And the Bears are going to take possession of the football. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he made it all the way to the end zone. This week, he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
Again, it's Foreman, and he'll get this one down to about the 27. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8. He'll look to throw. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Kmet. And he will not get what he needed as he stops short of the first down at around the 22. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Now we've got a field goal coming up here for Chicago. From the left hash, this from 39. And his kick is indeed good. So after 4 touchdowns in the game for this offense, this time they're forced into taking the 3.
But you did mention 4 touchdowns, right? So 4 out of 5, not too bad. I think that's a pretty good record for them.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Pulls it in at the 13. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And with a 3-score deficit staring them in the face, they might have to press the issue here and try to get points out of this drive. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Quick picked up by Jalen Johnson.
Well, you just kind of feel for him right now. 4 interceptions, and you can almost see through his face mask. There's a lot going on in between the ears.
There certainly is, and probably way too much, because now he's probably doubting himself a little bit, wondering what adjustments he has to make. But here's what he needs to do. Get through this game. Go to the press conference, meet it head on, and show your teammates you're ready to shoulder what happened today, and you'll be ready for the next game.
And if he can do that as a rookie, that's a great sign of maturity.
And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. The heavy set out there. 3 tight ends in the formation for 3rd and 3. Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. And they will bottle him up behind the line, and now will they use a timeout? And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. On is the punter Scott here as he gets this one away. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds.
Ready, black, 95. 23 rounds.
They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And they're able to get this one across the 35. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. The Vikings set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail it here as we resume play. Pulls it in at the 13. And he'll be out of bounds across the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any one of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive, but maybe cut into it a little bit as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary can really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
They'll try and throw for it here. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack, and a turnover on downs. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line. Here's Foreman. He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
I like the call. Inside the red zone, running the toss. Why? They want to get to the edges. They want to see if guys who don't normally make a lot of tackles are willing to actually do that. That usually means the guy's in the cornerback position.
They run again with Foreman, and he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
And the Bears are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. D'Onta Foreman taking it in from a yard out. And the Bears have opened the lead up to 30. Oh, CD, there didn't seem to be much resistance there down near the goal line.
Yeah, partner, from what I saw there, not a real good job of matching up defensively, because to me, they looked like they were just in their base 3-4 package. You need bigger bodies in there in a goal line type situation. The 3-4, fine between the 20s, but not down here when you're guarding your end zone.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Pulls it in at the 13. And he's going to get this across the 20 as he's out of bounds at the 23. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. He'll look to throw. Out to the left there and complete to the tight end, Hockenson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 yards, first down, Vikings. They'll look to throw here. Going down the middle, and it's complete. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That one goes for 24 yards. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 down at the 33. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. This is caught. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Vikings get a bit closer. Obviously, the scoreboard right now is not the friend of this rookie quarterback. But, hey, a touchdown pass there maybe builds a little confidence.
Every rep is valuable when you're a rookie. Every time you step up and throw the football, there's a lesson to be learned. Yeah, he took advantage of a little bit of loose coverage there with the lead. But at the same time, got it done. It'll take a look.
And this is going to be intercepted.
Well, as most teams do in their two-point attempt, they pass the ball. Instead, it gets intercepted. And remember, if you pick it off, you got a chance to take it all the way back, get 2 points yourself, right?
Yeah, not the case there, but that's why you got to be really careful with those throws, especially to the outside. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. Here's Jones to bring it out of the end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. The offense coming back out here. Plenty of energy, ready to roll, looking to just add to what they have been doing after scoring a touchdown, Charles, their last time out.
And that's a great feeling to have on the sideline, partner, knowing you just won the battle against the opposing defense. And since they came off the field, I'll guarantee you all they want to do is get back out there because they know they have the upper hand on that defense right now.
And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, what they call play side. But how about on the back side? Just taking care of business to make sure no one can get there and disrupt it.
Is the biggest key the left tackle?
Without a doubt. Control that edge. Get out there. You want that left tackle. If you bring your tight end over there, either way, control the edge of the line of scrimmage. You got a chance to rumble.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. On second down, a run with Herbert. And he'll get about 3 here up to the 44-yard line.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we played 3 quarters. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. The offense on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Now Foreman. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago.
Deontay Foreman,
56 yards.
and the Bears are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead.
Well, I'm just not sure what more we can say about him after that one.
But we're certainly going to give it a try, aren't we? Because I believe we're watching greatness personified. It has not mattered all game long where they've handed him the football. He's taken it and found the end zone. He is so locked into that so-called zone, I don't think they're going to get him out of it in this one.
The Bears send the kicking team out there, and they will send this one away.
From the 10. And they'll be backed up to start this drive as he's taken down right around the 15.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coach.
A leap, and he's got it. He got it.
And he's going to get this down near the 25.
Typically with catches like that, we talk about the height of the wide receiver, but he's one of the shorter receivers in the NFL.
And it doesn't seem to matter, does it? Put the tape measure away. How about some of these guys under 6 feet tall? Antonio,
Touchdown!
Justin Jefferson,
25 yards for the touchdown.
and the Vikings get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit.
The Vikings leave the offense on the field as they're going to line up and go for 2. And now here's another interception.
it's interesting that when it comes to 2-point conversions, even heavy run teams tend to throw the ball in these situations. In this case, this one was intercepted.
Yeah, they weren't fooled. They were ready for the pass, picked it off. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
On the return is Jones from the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the 4th quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last 2 drives.
Certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to have some fun out there, doesn't it? Game's already decided, as you noted, so they can continue to play loose, break out some other concepts, maybe run a few trick plays, get other people involved. Heck, even go deep on one of these first snaps just because they can.
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
Second and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down. Keep the sticks moving.
On 1st down, nothing opening up really on the running play. Give him maybe a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge. That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
On third down, Foreman. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. They'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 35 yards on the return. Picked up some good blocks as well. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here on first down.
He's going to get this one down to Cook. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Looking to throw. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. A great effort there. 38 yards.
And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll cut the lead down to 18. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away.
This taken in at the goal line. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. It's been a dominant performance to this point, Charles, and this is probably exactly how they scripted this and envisioned it. They got a 3-score lead, fourth quarter, and a chance if they want to continue to pour it on here.
It is their call, isn't it? I mean, the way that they have taken on this game and the way that they have carried this game and have dominated this game, you're exactly right. Do what you want down the stretch. We are in the era of, hey, if you don't want us to do this to you, then you need to stop us. Their call to finish this one off.
Check it. Ready.
On second down now, Foreman.
And he'll be stopped up at the 26 after a gain of only a couple.
And a timeout taken. Just 6 seconds away from the 2-minute warning. This defense wanted to stop the clock prior to that, and they do. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on third down. They'll keep it on the ground. Foreman. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports.
19 Tiger.
They'll run on first down. Foreman. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Tackle made there by Jordan Hicks.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
A handoff for Herbert.
And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. No gain that time, and it leaves them with 3rd and 11 coming up.
Backed up here. Tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first.
On third down, Foreman. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down.
They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, As many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Excellent placement, and off that bounce, Charles, I didn't know where it was going to go. It can be an inexact science as to where they place it, but they say the 2-yard line.
Yeah, I don't know how they really determined that. And let's face it, at the end of that play, one side's going to be happy, the other team's going to be unhappy. So what do they do, shorten the hypotenuse? I mean, how do they figure that out? You know that stuff. You're the smart guy.
Oh, that's you, partner.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
And, boy, another ill-advised throw there as that will wind up incomplete.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. They'll look to throw again. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds. So a big call there that brings up 4th. One final shot. They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. He's got him in. Complete. And a little bit of a consolation prize there. He's into the end zone. Won't win them the game, but they do get the score with all zeros showing.
But some fantasy players are really happy with that score.
Just a formality now, but here's the extra point. Oh, and now they're going to fake it. And it's incomplete. It was an exercise in futility anyway. It doesn't affect the final outcome, and this one's over. Well, an interesting